Okay, so today we are focusing on one of three facets of the Kinesis monetary system, focusing on the family or the family budget. And I'm looking at a very good website called gold.org. On the page, it basically gives you a brief history of gold. I strongly encourage you to go to this page. You will not be you will not regret spending your time on this page. Um, Sectors and demands for gold: jewelry about 50%, investment, central bank, technology, and the like, and basically give you a little bit of gold facts, um, market structure, regulation, and taxes, and very good site. And so this is just a motivational website for you to take a look at, because part of being in this space is the continuation in self-improvement and educating yourself. And but my favorite resource to go to, because it does not depend on anyone else's opinion, is to go through, obviously, let me show you how to do it. I'm doing a multi-series on the Kinesis monetary system, focusing on the debit card and how the physical card coming up pretty soon. Right now, there are two cards. One is a virtual card. Everyone who participates in Kinesis, register your account for free. Step one, register your account. Step two is get in touch with me to help you understand the system completely. But prior to step one and two, the prerequisites to registration is self education. And by learning about the ecosystem to begin with. So we're going to talk about the audit uh, and roadmap, the blueprint, the roadmap itself, and to learn about the Kinesis money system in 11 short video, all compressed into one video to save you time. And so you can sit in about less than 30 minutes, you can get an overview of the ecosystem and determine, of course, whether or not this is for you. I believe everyone needs a Kinesis account. Every single person needs a Kinesis account. And today, I have been sharing information about gold for quite some time now, and I started with Facebook. Turned out that Facebook is a major waste of time, because the average person does have a attention span of a 30-second commercial. And then I created a YouTube channel, and all of a sudden, a world opened up that I'm very happy to say that I'm happy with the result. The page, the channel itself is a success in a very short time, thanks to you watching. I understand some of the videos might be long and they have value. In some cases, I don't get excited until the first 30 minutes is just a warm up, and the back end of the video is where the bulk of the value of the video use usually are. But I'm doing my best to basically reduce the length of it to make sure that you get the people who are interested in consuming the content, and also the people who, just by nature of their lifestyle or attention span, don't have the time to sit into a long video. So, episode 3, I give you the idea of Kinesis into for family, business, and organization. Today, I'm going to focus on the family, taking the example of a family budget and how the Kinesis monetary system help to benefit. But In order for me to not make the video long, I'm going to need you then to do your part in self-education, because this is the kind of information that you are not going to regret spending the time doing. And also, there's nothing good on TV, and there's absolutely nothing good on social media if you don't want to have your spirit vexed during this time, specifically with an election just finished, and yet the transition is still a confusion. And with nothing good on TV, with the uh, holidays coming up, and the our current crisis is not going away, I encourage you to do what I did. I went on a deep dive on all things money and all things biblical, understanding money from a biblical perspective. And I'm happy to say not only my results are great, so I'm combining theory and practice, and I find the only platform that makes sense for me to combine what I've been learning into worldwide, a real world application that any family, 18, any person 18 years and above can participate regardless of your business. In fact, Kinesis does not compete with any business, it enhances any business. And even if you are already in a gold business, Kinesis actually enhances your business, because you can bring your bullions into our platform and earn a yield with no storage fees and no monthly fees. With our 5 yield, we have 5 yields mechanism. One of them would be attracted to you, whether it's deposit, whether it's minting, holding, referring, and the Kinesis velocity token. So you have minting, the holders yield. You have minting yield, holders yield, depositors yield, referrers yield, and the Kinesis velocity token. If you happen to be in the US, unfortunately, it's not for you if you are not an accredited investor. However, if you meet the requirement, then you can participate in the Kinesis velocity token with the highest yield, 20%. So you may not qualify to participate in the Kinesis monetary system and participate in the highest yield, the KVT. But you may also know somebody who qualifies, and the referrals yield for acquiring someone with the acquisition to acquire the KVT put you in a very, very good referring yield position. However, one tier. So, where was I? In this case, also, if you're into crypto, Kinesis provides the Cool Wallet S, a dual device, whether it's by app or with a secondary device that allows you to protect your crypto, where you can transact in gold and silver and crypto with a two-stage security system. First, you have your wallet from your phone, either Android or Apple, that allow you to transact in crypto. However, to make sure that your account is absolutely secure, a secondary device that can be put in your pocket. In this case, this is what it looks like. It is a secure battery dimension Kinesis currency. It is Bluetooth activated, and the Cool Wallet S allow you. You can have the phone version only, or you can have both. And so the suggestion is to have both, because the device in your pocket, through Bluetooth, you can access your crypto. So you can go to your a local store, purchase food, your car. You can go to the car wash and pay for your car wash. You can go to you can go to the local coffee shop and get yourself a latte. Bad habit, by the way, but that's another video in itself. Um, you can go to local bookstore or either physical or online to get yourself some much needed books to help feed your mind during this transition from bad to worst into the pandemic that doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. During this time, it's never been more important to be in absolute control of your money. And this is where I come in. This is where you get to benefit from my biblical research. Whether you believe it believe it, whether you believe in it or not, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you have a reliable source that does not rely on the opinion of a writer, you know, water down the information for you, and let that be the precedent for you to take your learning about money to the next level. You can start from a biblical, grounded, secure position and then go from there. I am passionate about fundamentals, things that don't change. And during this transition for the next 2 3 years, we're dealing with this health crisis. Your emotions, my emotions, will go up and down like a roller coaster. You need something. I need something to that is going to be level, consistent, has been, is, and going to be. And because the information is free of charge, there are absolutely zero excuse for you to say you didn't know. That's not a choice you have. And that's my gift to you. Buy the truth and sell it not. So, I've already pulled out my Money Bible Part 1. And in it, you will find the content, money as protection. I usually start with this one, just 4 little verses in Ecclesiastes 7:12. For wisdom is protection, just like money is protection. But the advantage of knowledge is that wisdom preserves the lives of its possessors. And then again, Solomon says, men prepare a meal for enjoyment, and wine makes life merry. And money is the answer to everything. Money will open every door. If you don't have it, you will suffer. If you have it, every door is open to you. In some cases, it says, when good things increase, those who consume it shall also increase. The ability, money will open the path for you to have superficial friends that you didn't know before. And the lack of it will also narrow down your social circles. But once you have access to making it, money is really not that exciting. It's only a door to multiple possibilities. It opens the door, but like the book, do it. Let's get off our butts. Having the money does not mean that you will enjoy it. Okay? All the money in the world can buy you the greatest gift for your wife or husband, but it would not guarantee the satisfaction for those gifts. All the money in the world can can allow you to enter the most fancy restaurant, the most fancy museum, or the most fancy bookstore, have the most expensive coffee, but it would not permit you to enjoy those things. Enjoying those things are the result of an intrinsic, internal, personal self contentment. Then you can enjoy those things. In this case, Job gave us the ultimate attitude towards money. In Job 24:22, and there's one verse that I forgot here, but I will leave it to you to finish the rest. And it says, and place your gold in the dust, and the gold of Ophir among the stones of the brooks. Then the Almighty will be your gold and choice silver. In other words, while money itself is a wonderful thing, but it's not the money that's most important. It's the one who gives you the ability to acquire it. Because money will come in from left hand and leave on the right hand. Or it will come in and as credit and go out as debit, or however you want to phrase it. But if you have the inner attitude of properly understanding money, then you will not be a slave to money. Money is only a tool. Okay? You buy yourself a TV, you want to install it on the wall, you measure, drill, position, and place. And then after that, you don't have a need for those tools anymore. That's the purpose of money. Like a screwdriver, a drill. In this case, it's a universal drill that you can take with you that is virtual or physical in some forms. That's just like money. The proper attitude towards money is what you need. Okay, so this is just another attitude towards money, like money blessing. Wealth obtained by fraud dwindles, but he who gathers by labor increases it. It's more exciting to work for something than to wish it or desire what somebody else's have, because you don't want to put the work into acquiring it. And that, my friend, if you want to understand me, although my channel is all about money, it is not the money that excites me. It's the ability to share something with people that I know that brings value to them, and knowing that I'm making a difference. That is what excites me. Money I am making and money I will make. Money I'm hoping to have it in abundance, and I'm also hoping to have enough. I can make a difference. I can touch people's lives. A satisfaction that no amount of money can fulfill. So, my friend, the reason I want to bring you to this is because also in my document on page 20, you can read about some 300 plus scriptures about gold itself. And all that is available as my labor of love for you. This is how I spent my the first few months of the pandemic, when everyone was going crazy and I did not know what to do. I mean, I can only spend so much time in the woods doing my cello practice, and now the weather does not permit me to be outside. I can only do enough piano practice, but that too gets boring because I'm only doing it to satisfy myself. I used to paint, do art when I was a kid, and I'm getting back to it again, and it's exciting. Then again, all my interests of solitary interest. That's something that I do to help other people. That recharge me so I can spend my time on those solitary interests that only benefits me. And that's the reason why I have a channel. And I do hope that you enjoy it. Now that you know me from a better perspective, let me tell you why you don't need my advice, but you need my inspiration to take me up on it, on understanding money from a biblical perspective, so you can then utilize your knowledge and put it into application with a proven system. And that's where Kinesis come in. The Kinesis monetary system. And to better understand, you have to do your part to go through the blueprint, 53 pages long. It's a beautiful read, and you'll get a lot of value out of it. From there, you learn about the Kinesis monetary system, an introduction, learn about the wholesaling, the Kinesis physical fiat coming up, page 29. Um, Actually, this will be very interesting because there's some great development happening. Page 32, you're going to be learning about minting, depositors, holders, uh, um, the holders yield, the recruiter's yield, which is called the referrer's yield, the Kinesis velocity token, about 2 pages, and the market capitalization, token allocation, and then and in closing, you learn who benefits, the historical precedent, and the conclusion. But more importantly, understand the marketplace, the market problem that Kinesis is trying to solve, the cryptocurrency problem that Kinesis is trying to solve, and the fiat currency problem Kinesis is trying to solve. And by doing your prerequisites to learn about those things, then with my help through Zoom, after you create your account, then we can get in the back office to understand how all that applies to you. First, you have the fundamental knowledge that comes from the text, the good text, the Bible itself, to bring you into a money education that is invaluable to begin with. My goal is to be imprinted in your subconscious where my face, my voice, my wonderful look will be with you for a good time. Even though we don't know each other, but you can consider me your best friend. This is not your typical YouTube channel. Okay? So the fiat problem that Kinesis is trying to solve, and the asset back problem that Kinesis is trying to solve, the bullion problem. In other words, they look at it from a very holistic uh, uh, perspective. And then they'll give you the Kinesis system, the monetary platform. Understanding that. Don't try to do it all by yourself. It's not fun. And you're not going to make it, actually. Because, first of all, you probably won't even go through the blueprint. The reason this makes sense is because you have somebody who is willing to connect with you to bring that into reality. Okay? I'm not selling you anything. The book, my document. Okay? And then we're also going to learn about silver as well. Page 69. Okay? We're also going to learn about silver. Anyway, so you can look at that yourself. I'm not going to go through it. But more importantly, more importantly, there's so much in that. In fact, there are multiple documents all integrated into one. You have part one, part two, and part three. And this is the one that I've always referenced the most because it's the one that I actually, not the one I'm talking about. This is the first one that actually gets me excited. The four types of people. You know, in Robert Kiyosaki's method of the cash flow quadrant talks about uh, the, the the employee, the self-employed, the business owner, and the investor, and that actually makes sense because if you're an employee, you have 5% of the wealth. In other words, so as long as you're exchanging time for money, you will never advance in life. You will always be at the bottom of the pile, no matter where you are. Okay? And if you're a self employed person, you're 95% of the population exchanging time for money. That means you're 100% leveraged and you have no leverage. You can't be sick if you don't show you don't earn. And then if you're a business owner where you're applying, where you're connecting to a system of duplication, this is where you start having a break. And this is why also people who have no dreams or work for people who have a dreams. Okay, this is your do-it-yourselfer. People who have no dreams, no ambitions, are going to be stuck at the employee level. And there's a do-it-yourselfer. Okay, your modern day slavery, pretty much. You're basically slaving away. You can make it if you're a doctor or lawyer, but then again, you're working 100 hours a week, 95 to 100 hours a week, 80 hours a week. And by that too, you're going to work yourself to death. And then in the end, you won't live long enough to enjoy it to begin with because you're 100% leveraged. Here, you get a break because you're doing 5% of the work and 95% of the work is being done by other people by leveraging a system. In this case, you are franchising yourself. And the investor, this is where you ultimately want to be. But you could be here and there at the same time. You can be here and there at the same time. And you can be here and there at the same time. So you could say the investor is the desired position that you can be in any part of the three quadrant and have your target to be 100% there. That's where you want to be. But either way, in order for you to make it, the first category of scripture is called the sluggard. Every scripture related to sluggish behavior, a lazy person, someone who does the minimum, someone who do things halfway, a person who starts but don't finish, someone who lacks sense, integrity, work ethics. Those are the sluggards. The diligent and the righteous, they are categorized that way, and the first one being the sluggard. The fool is also listed as last because I didn't want to give too much oxygen to the fool. Okay? In some cases, the scriptures are also interconnected because the diligent will also have contrast, specifically in Proverbs, contrast between the diligent and the righteous, the diligent and the fool, the diligent and the sluggard, the righteous and the diligent, and the fool or sluggard. So a lot of the scriptures are repeated because they are per category. But I didn't want to go through the time of because I did it for myself. I'm not selling it, so you have to go through it. In some cases, also repetition also makes sense. Why am I telling you all this? I thought we were supposed to be talking about money. Yes. So let's go back. All right. So let's start with our product, gold and silver. You can say this is an introduction also to um, to get to know me because I'm not just your typical YouTuber who presents you with opportunity to make money. And part of this video is also for you to get to know me. Okay, so our product is gold and silver. and we're talking about the benefit of it. Again, I'm not going to read all that to you because I've done that multiple times. Okay, this is a copy. This is once you get your mind wiped up on money, again, you can go through any of those three documents, version 1, 2, and 3. Uh, and on depending on where you are, if you happen to be a spiritual leader, obviously, uh, we were talking about tithing and all that stuff, and you probably want to spend more of your time on version 3, on volume 3. And if you happen to be, it doesn't really matter. Each volume has its own concentration, and handling money, basically handling money from a biblical perspective, and all of it is 100% pure, no opinions, absolutely no opinions. You're not reading someone else's secondhand information. This is not a book you have to buy. You can print it, or you can keep it in digital form to reference anytime. And because it's raw, the information is going to be fresh every time you look at it. The only one thing that will change is your mood going into it. Again, this is what gets me excited, not the money part, not the making money part. But I know we need to get back into Kinesis because that's what this video is all about. But I can get excited talking about that because this is very dry. But the excitement is in sharing the scriptures with you to get your mind right. Once you get your mind right, then the process, the application makes sense. What I've just spent time with you is the foundation. Now we're going to get into practical understanding money, and in your case you're going to do both. You're going to study the fundamentals and do the practical at the same time. And by practical, let's start with the Kinesis. Once your account is registered, what you will see, this is a picture of the exchange. In the exchange, you have your dashboard, account, exchange, debit card, refer, yield, all that will be explained, and the wallet that you have to set up. All that I can help you set up and at the same time and go back and forth, back and forth. Because I don't want you to do it alone because this is a little bit too much. I'm already giving you too much, but I'd like to just, if I'm gonna do something, I go big. Okay, I go big, 100% full fledged on have zero interest, and so we're starting with a bang. Okay, so um, in an example, and this is a copy of goldprices.org, the same day that I did the screenshot from the Kinesis exchange, and you can see clearly. Okay, a gram of gold about 2 weeks ago was about 61, um, and an ounce of silver was $24.16, meaning that Kinesis is true to its essence in keeping price of either gold or silver low as possible. In other words, no matter where you get gold, whether it's physical or digital, I cannot imagine any place would beat Kinesis on price. If you get gold here from goldprices.org because they have the ability to sell you gold, since you're buying the physical product, you're going to pay taxes and shipment for it. In Kinesis, because you're acquiring a digital product, you're exchanging fiat currency, devaluing as liability to a physical first class tier one asset. You're exchanging a bad product to a good product, and you're getting it in digital. And already you're saving money because you're not having to pay for shipping something. If you acquire enough of it, KAU or gold, in digital form, you can always have it delivered to you and therefore pay the extra cost. Or we have location worldwide where you can, depending on where you are, you can go pick it up yourself. That's that. Part of our platform also allows you to interact with the real world. You're not only learning about gold and silver from a biblical perspective, get your mind right about money. Now we're going to put into application a, a platform that allows you to put it into application, gold and silver. Spend it in real world. You can have a virtual card with $500 limit or a physical card with $20,000 limit. Since it's a credit card, okay, your spending is in direct proportion to your balance. Simply create your account, download the app from Apple Store or Google Store, and have your virtual. You can do it virtually or physically. Have a physical card to transact with. Now, the physical card is currently in beta form, and I look forward to uh, to show you actual example of me spending and using the card. The difference again is you have the monthly fee for the virtual card, and you have a 22 cent 20.22% fee for depositing with a maximum of $500 limit. As soon as your KYC approves, everywhere Visa is accepted. Once you have made a deposit, then you can use your card. The physical card gives you a $20,000 limit, internationally accepted everywhere Visa is accepted through ATM, or use it as a debit or credit. Okay, and the process is simply hold allocated gold or silver, bullion or crypto, gold, silver or crypto, deposit into, make a deposit into your card and go spend just as you would anything else. Okay, so in this case, most people use Venmo or PayPal. So you imagine your brother, sister, uncle, nephew, um, or husband and wife, kids. You exchange money between us. One person has a primary account with a higher balance. You know, the one who holds the one who is more reliable with money holds the primary account with the balance, and they can transfer money back and forth. So you go to a restaurant, you know, oh, I don't have my card. Oh, I didn't bring my card with me. That's okay. You don't need your card because you have your phone. Your phone has your wallet in it, and then you can basically be the one who pays. And if you guys like to do check and balances with money, and then you can basically transfer funds between one another to either, okay, so you pay the principal and I will pay I would pay the tip, or we would do a 60-40, 80-20, 70-30 split, or 50-50, 50-50, simply by using the Kinesis wallet, the Kinesis debit card, virtual or physical, for you to transfer money from one another. Did I mention the process of doing so also gives you an opportunity to be the principal referrer, where your spending is now being monetized? You're monetizing an existing behavior by, if you mint a certain amount of gold, 100 grams of gold or 200 ounces of silver, you then activate a holder's yield for anything you don't spend. And anything you spend, it's in actual money put into action that rewards you back for an existing behavior, spending. Because you're going to spend money one way or the other. And if you're using your credit card just so you can get rewards in points, you're not doing yourself a favor. Through Kinesis, by converting your spending habit from the Kinesis platform, it's better than any rewards credit cards that gives you mileage or any of that stuff. In this case, you can use if you want. Anyways, I don't want to use that example, but you can transfer money from one account to another using Kinesis better than any rewards credit card. The credit card company's goal is to monetize you in every way, for you to use them as their primary card holder, and they're hoping that you pay only the minimum balance. Their goal is to help you to maintain you as a customer for as long as they can keep you by hooking you with their rewards, thinking that they're doing you a favor. No, they're making money on you. Kinesis allow you to reverse the process by minting 100 grams of gold, 200 ounces of silver, and then from your minting account, do all your spending, all your money transaction between family members. That means family members also participating, just like you and your family members each have a PayPal or Venmo account where you transfer money, split money from one another. You can do exactly the same thing with a Kinesis account that pays you a referrer's yield, a mentor's yield, a depositor's yield for the same activity you're already doing. And you're not using, even if a credit card gives you 1 year interest free, it still does not beat Kinesis because you're not paying out, you're being paid for the same behavior. Okay? And with a cool wallet S, as you also have crypto, as your amount of gold, silver, crypto increases, so is the security. Because if you lose your phone, the bulk of your assets, virtual assets, that can be converted to physical assets. In this case, not Ethereum or Bitcoin, but Ethereum or Bitcoin can be converted to KAU or KAG through the Core Wallet S device, a secondary layer of protection, making you 100% self-sovereign and economically independent of a system that's been abusing you. You're now in complete control over your finances. Okay? And these are the example of the multiple coins that the Kinesis monetary system itself, through the Cold Wallet S, whether it's coins or tokens. And these are the supported coins of token. Some ERC20 tokens. Okay? One-time investment for $99 for the phone-only version, or for the Duo, plus the physical device via Bluetooth and the wallet app. Okay, and this is basically what the item looks like. It's the shape of a credit card where you can hold your gold, silver, and crypto into your wallet, making you 100% self-sovereign. So, having said that, here's a brief understanding of the Kinesis yield, and of course, the whole purpose of this video is to make you at ease, making you comfortable to do business with me. But the majority of the videos that explains everything are already on my YouTube page. This is just to make you feel absolutely comfortable, because my goal is to have 1,000 minimum a verified account in a very short time. My initial goal was by December, but that also involved a lot of education, So because of a holiday season, I'm revising my goal. But once the debit card, the physical card, is out, the beta form passes with a higher limit, people will be excited about that because $500 on a virtual card is not enough. Even though you can deposit for limited time, just like you could do the physical card. But the physical card with the $20,000 limit, that is exciting for people. So, main thing, here's an example. Carol starts with 300 KAU, that means 300 grams of gold. She receives her gold. She sends gold, spend or sell on the exchange. The process of the transaction that it takes for spending, spending, or selling gold on our exchange generates a yield. Currently, you're already spending, but now your spending will be coming from the Kinesis monetary system. And for that, she receives a 5% minting yield. And anything of that 300 grams of gold that is not used, if she mint, she gets a 15% holder's yield. Anyway, so again, because I've already mentioned that multiple times and I have multiple videos, today it was just about making you feel at ease because I'm introducing something to you that you're not familiar with that I have to explain, and I need to put you at ease. So here's an example of a typical family budget. You got three people, for instance. You get their income, and you have their tax and their net income on a monthly basis. And they also have household electricity, uh, food, transportation, communication, childcare, education, and basically that's your bill. At the end of the month, they'll either have a deficit or a surplus. Guess what? Everything that on the monthly expense part can be taken from the Kinesis account, therefore earns a yield for because she met 100 grams of gold or 200 ounces of silver. By minting, then all activity in terms of spending, sending, in this case in our exchange, you can also buy and sell gold by exchanging. It's possible that, not possible, definitely, and as she share the idea with other people, because let's say Carol, obviously being a woman, she is probably more uh, connected socially with friends and family, and therefore constantly talk about money with her friends and family. And guess what? All of them and her social network can also be part of the Kinesis monetary system, and for which Carol will earn a 7.5% yield by being the referrer of her family and friends, each and all converting their negative spending from traditional spending to a Kinesis monetary system spending, and therefore Carol then has a greater chance of not having a net deficit like uh, Kuala Lumpur has with a negative 720, because all these people are traditional people and they're not part of the Kinesis monetary system, because chances are they have family and friends they're each doing money transaction with, paying each other, splitting fees for something. All that requires activities. And guess who is making the money? The the credit card companies or the platforms that allow you to do the transfer. Kinesis instead give you a 7.5% yield for doing the exact same thing. Instead of paying, you're now getting paid for the same behavior that you currently are paying to process. So instead of having a negative or deficit at the end of the month, it'll be a net positive, because on a monthly basis, each of these people will get a referral's yield, a holder's yield, a depositor's yield, as opposed if as they start meeting people, and the Kinesis minting yield also paid out on a monthly basis. Okay, so again, nothing changes. The only changes is how they do the same behavior, and that's an example of how a family can utilize the Kinesis monetary system to keep the money in the family, to keep the existing spending, sending. In this case, now you'll be the backbone of your monthly spending and exchanging. Since crypto expands in value, fiat does not grow in value, it loses value. Crypto, gold, and silver go up in value. So you make the money once, income, 5,691.53, and you have that in 100 grams of gold or 200 ounces of silver, depending on the price of gold at that point, at that time, also depending on the price of silver. You have an asset that not only retain its value, but also have the potential to go up in value. And if you mix your portfolio with gold and silver and crypto, which is also valuable, and if you have stable coin like digital gold, you don't have to worry about your money losing value through inflation, because the price of goods are going up, 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 and the spending power of your dollar is losing value, down, down, down. So no matter how you look at it, it's a win-win situation to have a Kinesis account, especially if you have a family, and especially if you're single, which I will do a video on single and money by itself. So that was a great introduction, and I'm going to do a part two where I'm not going to focus on the fundamentals for when in regards to understanding the Kinesis monetary system for families. But first, I had to introduce you to the foundational money, gold and silver, backed by biblical resources, to inform you, and then from there we'll put into application. As you learn, you're applying, and together I can help to demystify the platform for you. And it will also make learning a lot fun, because you'll be putting in application what you're learning, which makes active learning apply learning. And you're likely to retain the information because you have knowledge combined with application. It has been a pleasure.